Every day, dozens of motorists are caught using their mobile phones. Now, one retired cop is calling for tougher punishments, hoping it might put an end to so many avoidable deaths on our roads.
76% of the drivers admit using the mobile phone while they're driving. The fines are very inadequate.
They might change their attitude if they actually saw it happen, but nobody gets exposed to the consequences.
Yep, here's one. She's on it now, right now.
Caught in the act, breaking the law and risking lives.
Nobody realises how serious the consequences are because they've never actually had their nose rubbed in an accident the way we have.
Tonight we're on the road with those who see the real carnage of drivers using their phones.
And the phone's in the hand, and we're texting.
And the calls for police to get tougher on those breaking the law.
A lot more people are prepared to be arrogant or ignorant towards the law.
Across Australia, around 50 motorists are fined every day for using their mobile phones while driving. If you're caught, it will cost you hundreds of dollars. But now there are calls for even tougher punishment. So would you be less tempted to touch your phone while driving if it meant you had to go to court?
When you speak to the victims' families and explain to them how they've lost their loved one due to someone else's negligence by using a mobile phone, that becomes difficult.
Gary Church has nearly 4 decades of experience as a police officer and making that difficult visit to loved ones' homes.
76% of drivers admitted they were using mobile phones illegally while operating motor vehicles. Now, when you've got a percentage like that, is the fines working? I don't believe they are.
The retired senior constable now heads up Queensland Road Trauma Services, and he says current penalties for drivers who use their mobile phones are too soft. He wants the offence treated as a criminal act like drink driving and offenders hauled before the courts.
Take their licence off them. Make them walk for a while. Make their kids suffer because they can't get to sport because mum or dad was ignorant of the law by using his mobile phone and placing other lives at danger.
If the police could actually see into the cars, because they don't have the height that I have, there'd be people pulled over left, right and centre.
Jim Houlihan is one man who's seen the trauma drivers using mobile phones can cause as a tow truck driver of nearly 40 years.
They're impatient, ignorant and stupid, and they can't wait a few minutes to get somewhere safe to use the phone.
So we decided to hit the road with Jim for a morning drive.
Ready to go catch some naughty drivers?
Naughty drivers, yes.
And it didn't take long for us to find an offender.
Yep, here's one. She's on it now, right now.
There you go, stop looking at the traffic lights and thinking it's okay.
Yeah, there you go, yep. She's in a little silver car. Well, she's finished her text, she's put it down now, but she's definitely on it.
Jim says every few minutes he'll spot someone on their phone.
And what's maybe the worst accident you've seen from someone using their phone?
The worst one I've not actually witnessed personally, but was there was a bloke ran up the back of a truck and took the top off the car. He was actually beheaded and his mobile phone was still in his hand when they pulled his body out.
Before long, we catch another driver. He notices me filming but continues to keep 2 hands on his phone.
He was holding it up by the looks of things to talk on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And this driver who also takes a chance at traffic lights.
Yep, there's the phone right on the lap. And the phone's in the hand, and we're texting. We're swiping.
Does it make you angry to see people do that?
Mate, they sometimes sit there, the light goes green, and they're still sitting there. They don't really realise the light's changed.
Our cameras also captured countless drivers on their phones in one afternoon. This motorist is talking away, holding his phone to his ear while travelling on a stretch of road with a 110 km/h speed limit. He finishes his call, then remarkably puts on his glasses to find another number in his phone to make yet another call. This man has his phone on loudspeaker, but is still holding it up to talk. while this tradie looks down to his phone 9 times in just 15 seconds while on a busy road. And he's not alone.
If I'm at a stoplight, I might check my phone quickly or change the song or something.
Yeah, no, I try not to, but it has happened on the odd occasion.
When you're driving, it's the only thing you should be doing, driving, not playing with mobile phones, not eating or drinking, not interfering with your car radio. It's driving.
Currently, the fines imposed are different for each state and territory. In Queensland, you'll be fined $391 and lose 3 demerit points. In New South Wales, it's a $337 fine and a whopping 5 demerit points. Victoria, it'll cost you $484 and 4 demerit points, the same as the ACT. In South Australia, Western Australia, Tasmania and the NT, you'll also lose 3 demerit points and cop a fine. Police have tried covert operations to catch offenders, even going undercover as window washers, but Jim believes there's room for improvement.
Yeah, I think the police could be a bit more active in that by possibly using unmarked motorcycles in amongst the traffic. They would definitely catch a lot more people using devices.
Gary says if drivers knew they'd have to go to court, they may just put down their phones.
We average 1 life lost per day. Surely to God we can do better than this.
Nothing's that important.
I tell you what, he has a point, doesn't he? And alarmingly, a recent study found most drivers are using their phone behind the wheel between the hours of 3 and 4 p.m. That's during school pickup.